Hey, what's up, my people? How you doing? This is Dalton coming at you with another story time. You're gonna like this one. This is one I promised you a little while back, and I'm finally getting to it. Okay, this story time is called The Gay Stalker. Now, if you know anything about being stalked, okay, you have group stalking, which can be done online. It could be done when it in a group. It can be done or gang stalking, whatever you want to call it. It could be done uh, by gang members. It can be done just by a group of people. They stalk you. They drive around, and well, one person may drive behind you and stalk you. Then another person take over, and they'll pull in and drive behind you and stalk you. And for a long time, uh, police thought people were being paranoid when they talk about a single stalker or gang stalking. Okay, group stalking as well. And they thought they were being paranoid until they realized that a lot of this comes it's just a deviation from stuff that law enforcement, CIA, FBI have done for years. I guess it was just too close for them to realize what it was. It's not the same type, okay, but it's like a deviation of it, okay. And someone took it and corrupted it and using it for the wrong reasons, okay. And I've had both. I've been stalked and I've had been gang stalked. Who knows? Maybe again in my life. I'm not dead yet. So when this happens, and yeah, as I stated earlier, it can happen with social media. It can happen in any way. They could just it's a format of what they do, and then they can go ahead and just do it with social media or it physically, find out where you work and then, do stuff like that, you know. Um, when I lived in Seattle, okay, and let me explain something to you, okay. I lived in Seattle about 6.5 years, and this was a little while back, okay. But like in Texas, when you hear about illegal immigrants, when you hear about legal and illegal immigrants, there are a lot of times they're talking about Africans or, but mainly Latin people. Okay, people from Mexico, whatever. Okay, and what a lot of people don't realize, yeah, that is that for that area of the country. But if you talk about legal or illegal immigrants in Washington, you're talking Asian. You're not talking Latin at all. You're strictly talking Asian, okay? And they've always had a problem with that. Yeah, they always have big discussions with that, okay? Even if you're trying to be bilingual, what they're gonna tell you is, like if you're in Texas and they want you bilingual, they want you to speak Spanish and English. If you're in Washington State and they want you bilingual, they want you to speak some form of Asian dialect plus English. And a lot of people don't know that. So it's different parts of the world. And that's why it didn't surprise me too much when they had the coronavirus popping up in Washington. Okay, because you have a strong, powerful Asian population. I mean, of just about any aspect of Asian you can imagine live in the state of Washington. Okay, rich to poor. Okay, and yeah, they buy their kids into the university just like you've seen the scandals. A lot of rich Japanese do it. A lot of rich Chinese do it. They buy themselves kids into these big universities. Okay, and you understand why I'm saying this. Okay, now here's the deal. I had a horrible day. I had a really, really bad day. And I mean, I'm human. We all have them. And it's just like one thing after another. I had to put out fires all here, there, And of course, it was about 10 minutes till it was time for me to go. All right. And I was working at the college, Seattle Central Community College at that time. Okay. And I was working behind the desk and slash security, And, but I was also working behind the desk as a receptionist. Okay. So we had a lot of young ladies there as well. And a lot of times they would get in arguments. They didn't get along, okay? Because sometimes we have Japanese and Chinese working together, and I had no idea, okay? I mean, I have a hard enough time keeping up with my own race, less than anybody else's, and I had no idea that they just hate each other like that. Okay, some of them do, So it was always some type of chaos up there between the ladies and stuff like that, and it wasn't a lot of guys working up there at that time. So I'm sitting up there, and you have to understand, Seattle's a very liberal state, okay? Seattle's nickname is Little San Francisco, mainly because it's that liberal and it has these hills that go straight up, okay? So I'm sitting up there, 10 minutes till it's time to go work. And all of a sudden this guy comes up, okay? And I'm not trying to be rude, okay? But if you ever been in Seattle, you ever know the Asian men, most of them are very, very slim, they're skinny, right, or they're shorter, or, like I want to speak, they're shorter, they're slim. They're very slim people. And even the ones that are not are still considered just, somewhat thick to us as Americans because they're, small boned, okay? But this guy came up, okay, and he was an Asian guy, right? And I'm telling you, he was the biggest Asian guy I have ever seen in my life. This guy weighed about 350 pounds, okay? Biggest Asian guy I ever seen. So I'm just thrown off by that, just trying to be all respectful, And he goes, so he comes up to the counter and looks at, he says, I need to speak to you. And I'm like, okay. And now all the girls are just, chatting away. Some of them are arguing in the back. And I'm like, okay, how can I help you, sir? What can I help you with? And I'm just kind of glancing at the clock and it's just ticking away. And I was like, all right, I'm almost out of here. And he looks at me. He goes, well, I can't. I'm literally. I can't. I I just. I just. I can't. And then he just says, I said, listen, take a deep breath, relax, and tell me exactly what's going on so I can help you. He says, okay. I've been watching you for such a long time, and I love you. I am deeply in love with you. Now I want you to understand I'm straight, okay? I may be open-minded, because I believe all human beings have the right for happiness, liberty, and joy. Okay, all human beings, regardless of what your kick is, okay? But I'm straight, okay? And I'm just like, and then I swear to God, time slowed up, and you could hear a pin drop. All the chattering that was going on in the back, all the arguing just stopped. And he proceeds to go on and tell me the classes I'm taking, because I was going to school up there, the classes I was taking, the times, even some of my hobbies that I do away from school or work. Yes. In detail. And I could see right there in his mind, and I'm shocked. Okay, and I've been and for some, and he is flaming gay. Okay, and I glanced back. I'm in shock, and I glanced back to the girls and the people in the back, and their hands are on their chin like they're watching a movie. They're excited and listening to all of this, just amazed and enjoying. Like it's a movie, And I'm just like, oh. And then I happen to look at the clock, right? And then it was like, time to go. So out of nowhere, I'm proud of myself. Out of nowhere, I pulled it. Now anybody would have freaked out, snapped, and threw the guy against the wall, and like, hey, man, what's your problem? Stalking me, And I kept my cool. Okay, and when in Rome, you got to respect Rome's rules. Okay, so I kept my cool. Take a deep breath, and everybody's watching me, and I just told them, I said, well, the way I say it, sir, as soon as you know what you want, as soon as you know, we at this place can definitely help you out. Okay, all right, and I hope you have a good day. Okay, and if you need anything else, the people behind me at the desk working right now, they can take care of you. And I shot out that door like a bat out of hell. I mean, you would have thought I stole something. I ain't lying. I got the hell out of there. Went home, bought locks, locked up the door. I mean, and that's not the first time I've been stalked, but for some reason, I always get stalked by gay men. Don't ask me why. I always get stalked by gay men. You're okay. And only one time, and I think that's the only reason I notice them when I'm getting stalked, because some of them will approach you. Okay. Most of the times, if it's a women are so much better with their details that a woman can stalk you and you never know it. Because I dated this one Scorpio, right? Her name was Tracy. I dated Tracy, and she was pure Italian. Okay, I dated her, and one day, I just saw her come by, and she caught my attention, and she put that Scorpio glare on me, and I already knew. No, don't try to run. You're struggling is useless anyway. And we started dating, and later on in the time, she told me, she says, yeah, I've been watching you for a long time trying to get your attention, but that's the only time a female even come to close to stalking, and but most of the time it's always been like gay guys, and then and I don't know, maybe because they're guys, they're more aggressive, they come up and try to say something, and or show that they're stalking. I've had it done to me several times, and I have group stalking done to me several times too. I mean, once really major time I do remember. But that stalking, once you've been stalked, it's like being a virgin. Okay, once you no longer a virgin, that's it. Okay, well, you're a man or woman, you already know it ain't going no back. Okay, it's a done deal. So I can sometimes detect them a mile away now, but I tell you what, that threw me into a floozy, man. That just blew my mind that somebody was watching every single freaking thing, and then in their mind they were already dating me. I could tell this guy was already in a long-term relationship with me in his head, I mean, he could, it was weird. Yeah, it's hard to describe. Okay, but yeah, that's the story about the gay stalker. All right, and I just wanted to throw that at you. I told you I was gonna tell y'all about that. Okay, that's the story about the gay Asian stalker, which is even weird because I really never, even living in Seattle, there was only two Asian women that even caught my attention. Of all the Asian ones, I just never, most of them always asked me, uh, and it got so, they always ask me if I have white friends that I can hook them up with, to be honest with you. And after a while, I just stopped dealing with them because, I'm not a pimp. If my friends like them, they like my friends, they need to go straight up to them. I got tired of being a middleman, you know, you know. But there was only two. One girl I worked with. She was Japanese, but she had to go back home. She was on a visa. Me and her got along real good. I didn't date her, but we were headed that way. We were just friends. And then another one, I think she was Filipino. Yeah, she was Filipino. And there's something about Filipino women, man. She was just sweet. I mean, if I would have stayed in Seattle a little longer, I probably would have started dating her. She was just sweet. Some about Filipino women. Um, a lot of them have had a hard time, and they're very strong women, and they're very loyal people. They're some of the most loyal people I've met. Filipinos. Okay. Well, anyway, that's my story. I asked you to punch that red subscribe button down there. All right. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either way, you're cool with me. All right. I ask you to share it. All right. And, I love your comments. I ask you to comment. All right, if you feel like it. All right. And I shall rap to y'all later. Peace out.